So this morning, Senate confirmation hearings for President-elect Trump's cabinet begins, and up first is Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth. In his opening statement obtained by Axios, Pete will say, quote, "It is true I don't have a similar biography to defense secretaries of the last 30 years, but as President Trump also told me, we've repeatedly placed people atop of the Pentagon with supposedly the right credentials, whether they are retired generals, academic, or defense contractor executives. And where has that gotten us? He believes, and I humbly agree, that it's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm, a change agent." Newly elected Senator Jim Banks sits on the Senate Armed Service Committee and will be a part of that hearing this morning. Senator, congratulations on your win, and thank you for joining the program this morning. So Pete talks about being a change agent. He talks about the agenda of the president. Of course, he's written books about this, been championing this for years. But the Democrats on the committee, they're not going to make it about the issues, right?
That's right, Lawrence. I just got to Capitol Hill. I walked into the Senate office buildings, and there are hundreds of veterans already lined up to come to Capitol Hill today to show their support for Pete Hegseth. Many of them are wearing Veterans for Pete T-shirts to show their public support. And a lot of them will be in the room today because Pete will be the first Secretary of Defense from my generation, the post-9/11 generation of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. He served in both places. I served in Afghanistan, so I appreciate his service immensely. He has 2 Bronze Stars. And President Trump is right. We need a change agent at the Pentagon to clean up the mess of the last 4 years. But the Democrats, they're focused on all of the crazy stuff. They're doing what Democrats do. They're attacking Pete for being a Christian, for having a Christian tattoo, by the way, the same symbol that was on the cover of the program at the Jimmy Carter funeral last week. And they called him an insider threat for having the same symbol as a tattoo. It's crazy stuff, anonymous sources. But he's going to do well today. I've met with him. I've been in some of the practice meetings with him. He's ready to go. He's going to knock it out of the park. He's going to be the first cabinet secretary that we confirm after January 20th, and he's going to be great at the job.
Well, Senator, your colleague, Chuck Schumer, has a plan, and this is what Axios has learned. He said Republicans spent 4 years attacking the Democratic brand, and we need to use the hearing to begin to return the favor. Schumer told Democrats in a private meeting early January. So again, this is about retribution. This is not about, is he qualified for the job?
Yeah, it's shameful. I mean, this is the most important cabinet secretary that President Trump will have on his team at the Department of Defense to make our military lethal again, to get our military back focused on what it has to be focused on. This is a dangerous time in American history, and Pete Hegseth is going to get the military back. Instead of focusing on all the woke political crap that the Biden administration and Lloyd Austin and all of these, the clown show at the Pentagon over the last 4 years, they were more focused on wokeness than readiness. And right now we have a significant recruitment crisis because of it. The Army decreased their standards. The Navy is way off of their recruitment targets. And a lot of it has to do with wokeness, but a lot of it has to do with what happened in Afghanistan, too. And we can't forget that. We need someone like Pete to clean up the mess, make the military strong again, fix those issues. He's the guy for the job.
Well, Senator, today is the first day of change because I have a prediction. I think he's going to get through the committee. I think he's going to kill it today, and I think he will be our next defense secretary. And it's because of the men and women that are there today. They finally got a fighter, not only in the White House, but a fighter at the Pentagon. And that is something we should all be celebrating. Senator Banks, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.